Now, the Philistines gathered their forces for war and assembled at Soka, which was in Judah. They pitched camp at Ephes Dammim, which was between Soko and Azekah. The Philistines occupied one hill, and the Israelites occupied another, with the valley between them. A champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, a town in the Philistine part of the Middle East, closer to the Mediterranean. That champion, Goliath from Gath, came out of the Philistine camp. He was over 9 feet tall. He was probably from the floor here up to the top of the, what is this? Pulpit, I'm sorry. I was only thinking of lectern. And so he was probably that tall, okay? He had a bronze helmet on his head, and he wore a coat of scale armor of bronze weighing 5,000 shekels. Bronze greaves were on his legs, and a bronze javelin was slung on his back. His shield bearer went in front of him. Now Goliath came out, stood, and shouted at the ranks of Israel. "Why do you come out and line up for battle? Am I not a Philistine, and are you not the servants of Saul? Choose a man and let him come down to me. If he is able to fight and kill me, we will become your subjects. But if I overcome him and kill him, you will become our subjects and serve us." Then Goliath said, "This day I defy the ranks of Israel. Give me a man and let us fight." Well, when the Israelites heard these words, Saul and all the Israelites were dismayed and terrified. Now, meanwhile, back in Bethlehem, Jesse was sending his son David with a package of cheese and other supplies for his brothers and their commander. Jesse says to David, "Your brothers are with Saul and all the men of Israel in the valley of Elah, fighting against the Philistines." Early in the morning, David left the flock with a shepherd, loaded up, and set out as Jesse had directed. He arrived at the camp just as the army was going out to its battle positions, shouting the war cry. David left the supplies with the keeper of supplies, ran to the battle lines, and greeted his brothers. While he was there talking with them, Goliath stepped out from his lines and shouted his usual defiance. When they saw the man, the Israelites ran away in great fear. Well, David had heard what Goliath shouted. Now, the Israelites had been saying, "You see how this man keeps coming out? He comes out to defy Israel. The king will give great wealth to the man who kills him. And he will give that man his daughter in marriage. And he will exempt his father's family from taxes in Israel." David asked the men standing near to him, what will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel? Who is this Philistine that he should, this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God? Well, the men repeated to him what they had been saying and told him, this is what will be done for the man who kills him. Now, David's oldest brother, Eliab, heard him talking to the men, and he burned with anger at David and asked him, why did you come down here? And who's watching those few sheep in the desert? I know how conceited you are and how wicked your heart is. You've come down just to watch the battle. David said, what have I done now? Can't I even speak? And he turned to someone else and brought up the same matter, and the men told him the same thing.